G'day everyone, T-Nick back here in Transport Tycoon, or OpenTTD as it prefers to be called. I bring to you sad news. It appears that Tudwich iron ore mine, which reckoned it could get an estimated 96,000 tonnes of iron ore out of the ground, has decided to shut up shop. Now, I reckon that's the last nail in the coffin for our grandiose Acham steel line. It does seem that we are destined to mediocrity in this game, because we built this wonderful railway line last time. We've built this wonderful coal train, this moderately attractive steel train, and I don't know where the iron ore train's naffed off to, but guys, it's over. We are going to have to shut this whole line down and probably rip the track up, because we are paying for infrastructure that we will no longer be using. On the plus side, that will give us some more capital to put back into passenger operations, but I think passenger operations have to be the way forward. These industries are just way too volatile, unfortunately. So first things first, we're going to send you to the depot. Actually, you want to go to Jinbury City, so I better bugger that up by trying to turn you around. Let's hit unpause. Turn around again. There you go. So you are going for storage. We won't scrap the trains just yet if we don't have to. You can't find a depot. We'll let you make your run of steel delivery, and then we will axe you as well. Well, it's been a short ride, but it's been a fun ride. Look, we still have one freight train going for now. That is this, yep, there you go, bye-bye. That is this wonderful clay train that we have got going, and the clay pit, yep, it's half production as promised, and it's only good for 14,000 tonnes. That's assuming we even get that far. Something is on the construction near Windtown. A food processing plant. Also, where is Windtown? That could not be further away from me if we tried. Okay. Incidentally, it seems as if the forest and the sawmill that were constantly trying to be connected by a subsidy have also shut their doors. Forests don't have doors, but I'm assuming they built a door out of the wood, then shut it, then dismantled it. So yeah, we're just gonna have to demolish that station there. We can't even afford to demolish the station. That is just awful. So our iron ore train is now parked up in the depot. While it's parked up in the depot, it won't cost us any money. We could sell it off to get some capital to build more trains, but let's be honest, our passenger trains are not making a massive profit run anyway, so why would we want more of them? I'm going to try and extend our passenger network this part, though, to at least, you know, have an attempt at making some money, because yeah, this game has not been kind to us since we started. Thankfully, we've still got our passenger trains running up and down, and they are still carrying some passengers, which is important. But they're not paying enough to replace themselves, so when they do start getting old and due for replacement, we are going to be in trouble. Now, you can go to the depot. You're off to Parramatta City Depot. Good. And once our steel train makes his delivery in 400 years, we will be able to do something with that. Yeah, so look, I'm going to be demolishing part of this line at least. We're still going to need this line here to get us down to Dunberg Bay, Roningdor and Garfield, which look, this will see a new lease of life just with passenger trains, and maybe one day we'll see freight trains on there if we can get a food processing plant for this farm. Well, there goes Windtown Brickworks. They just keep coming or going, depending on how you see it. But yeah, we will start removing this railway line, because we can sell the rail for scrap and, you know, get a tiny bit of our investment back. If you could go faster, please, that'd be fantastic. If I had infrastructure costs turned off, I would just leave all this track there. But look, we're hardly in a situation where we can throw away money, and it does cost us what's that, 11 grand a year to support all this infrastructure. So the less we have, the better off we'll be, I think. So get rid of the coal loader there. We'll get rid of this, but you watch, it'll cost us money, and then the steel train will start complaining that it's lost. Well, not so much lost, but that it has an invalid order. We'll get rid of this. Look, the tunnel was reasonably expensive, so I'm inclined to keep it. Yeah, so here we go. Here come the complaints. We'll just literally rip the track up behind this train as we go. We'll rip it up to about here, I guess, because we will probably need to run a platform through here somewhere, and I'm liking this hill to get over the river. So, you know, we want to keep our options open. Ooh, a new brewery is under construction near Dinchester. Guys, I don't want to oversell this, but yeah, I'm aware. We have a farm here. Farms produce grain. Brewery over here accepts grain. I accidentally made the signs disappear in my excitement. The only problem will be having enough capital to get from farm through the fields, which we established last time are very expensive, to brewery. But I am going to make a go of it while this train, oh, you're complaining as well now, while this train chuffs off to its destination. Now we need to find the shortest possible route through the field. I'm thinking if we put the station sort of in a line here, we're going to have to knock out field here, but we can then come straight up to the quote-unquote main line. Yeah, well, maybe if you weren't so useless, we wouldn't have had to come to this point. So we will need to catch the farm. Thankfully it shows us what we supply down here. So we'll build it as far away from the farm as possible. I like that tile there. And it's still going to cost us too much money. Borrow! To the bank! Let's try again. Teed Grove South. No. Now if we build an agricultural station, as pretty as that will be, it will also take up more farm than we sort of want it to. So we'll stay away from eye candy just initially and just stick with a plain old, just a little one. And we'll turn the catchment area off again. We know what we're doing. And we will just extend this. Okay, that basically just spent all of our money. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm in the void order. Oh, good. Okay, you are in the depot. Excellent. We will we'll probably come to reuse you in time. We will just, yeah, you're useless. We will just transfer you up to this depot. So we will make you, off you go. Now you will start complaining because you don't have enough orders, but we can live with that. Oh, we missed out on a subsidy for oil. That would have been helpful. Ah, well, what can you do? Now our maximum loan has increased, so we will gingerly tap into that potential to, I don't want to build that bit of line, bugger off. We'll gingerly expand up here to the main line. We'll put that signal in there. We'll put a one-way signal in here, and then because we need a destination signal for our trains, because the way the train pathing works is our train will come up to this home signal here. You can tell it's a home signal because there's a little red on the back of it. In the OpenTTD graphics world, you have very few pixels to work with, so I think they've done an admirable job with these signals. And then at this signal, the train then goes, well, I want to get to Seesaw Station, so he reserves a path. Here comes one now. In fact, I can actually turn the graphics on to show you what it looks like. The main problem is finding out where it is. Not in there. Probably not in there, probably not in there. It's definitely one of the options you can turn on. Probably under vehicles. Routing, here we go. No. I thought that's where it'd be. That's disappointing. No, it's not under environment either. Maybe it's under graphics. It's not under graphics. Wonderful. There's definitely a way to show it, and I honestly cannot remember where it is, which is very disappointing, but I'll just have to talk about it. So what he does is he gets this signal, and the train tries to reserve a path through the block, so that way no other trains can enter his path and cause a collision. So he has reserved a path, and his path will come down to this station. But the way the game works is it just looks until the end of the line, so he's actually reserved the track up to this signal here. And then he turns around and buggers off. But if we want him to use this platform coming in this direction, he will need to reserve a path to this signal here. Now that's not a one-way signal, so a train can come up and pass through this way as well, which means we'll just change this to a one-way signal so it looks better. which means we can have a freight train coming up to this signal here while a passenger train comes into the platform to turn around. Hey, they're really pushing this oil. Unfortunately, it's literally nowhere near the rest of our network, although it is a desirable location to expand into because you've got three cities in a very small area. In fact, I think you've got, okay, well that's not a city, but pretty much everything else is. That will be a very passenger heavy area, and I just closed the steel train, which I needed to send to the depot. Off to Jinbury City train depot with you. Yeah, you're losing money. Well, what a surprise. Train 4 is complaining, but that's fine. It's in a depot. Train 6 is still complaining. It gets old. Now, we need to set up a siding down at this brewery here for the brewing of things. Yeah, I haven't had my coffee yet. Just go easy. So we'll set up a modest little siding there. We will connect him up down here like that and chuck a couple of signals in. We'll move this signal back over to the junction here. Yeah, you have a void order. That's news to me. Now, so we've got everything set up. All we need is a train. Gee, it's awfully convenient that we've got all these trains parked up. Now, a 5-plank open wagon cannot be refitted to... Oh, it can be refitted to carry grain. I thought we had to build a grain hopper. So, wouldn't you know it, we've got a train right here that happens to be 3 tiles long. Now, those wagons were used for coal, so we should probably rinse them out. There we go. And now we've fitted them with tarpaulins, so obviously the grain doesn't get wet, because, well, I'm pretty sure that's bad. I'll turn the trees back on so it looks pretty. Now, we'll have you full load at Teed Grove South and go up to Dintchester Central, and we will have you just belong to this depot here, just in case you need to go back. So as you saw when I sent all those trains back to their depot, they went back to the depot they belonged to because they figured, hey, that's where I live. And, oh, we've got an oil refinery down here now. That is also awfully convenient because we have some oil wells up here. And I think that's a good number. I don't know. But, okay, maybe when the game takes away with one hand, it gives with another. Because we've now got this hopefully profitable grain route now started. We'll have to wait a little while for our train to actually show up. But at Dintchester, we will be producing booze, or quote-unquote goods. Yeah, void order. And we can transport not to Teed Grove. What's the other town over here? Not to Seesaw. Could we transport it to Farnwell? Probably not. It doesn't look like it's big enough. We might be able to transport it to Jinbury City. I'm not sure about that. No, they're only going to accept food, and unfortunately alcohol does not count as food. We could transport it to Parramatta City, but my my worry here rather is that we're not going to accept enough goods. So the way the game works for accepting things is you can click to query a tile, and basically this ratio here is how much that tile accepts. So in this case, the theatre accepts 1 of 8 goods. To have a station actually accept goods, you need 8 of 8 tiles within range of the station to accept goods, if that makes sense. So if we were to put a truck stop in town, obviously 8 of 8 tiles will accept goods, as you know, mentioned there. But the risk is if the town redevelops and knocks down even one goods accepting building, you run the risk of losing. We didn't want that. No, that's on that stupid island down there. Yeah, we run the risk of losing that delivery, and then of course you've got a whole supply chain set up that you can't follow through on. So I generally don't deliver goods to towns until the town is definitely on the grow. So for example, Jinbury City would be a good candidate for goods delivery because, well, nominally it is growing. It's just not at the moment. And being a city, it grows twice as fast. So when it is growing, it's more likely to start developing than smaller towns, which might decide to just build a road. Because when a town expands, it will build either a road or a building, depending on what its needs are. And if it's just building road, well, it's not really accepting more freight. There's our grain train. That's not our grain train, that's our clay train. Don't use the mouse to scroll, we covered this last time. We should probably put another passing loop on that section there because it's getting kind of jammed up with the clay train running. So we'll just We're out of money. We can't do that. Let's just keep increasing that loan there. Good stuff. And we will just extend. We'll wait for him to pass this tile here, and then we'll bop a signal down there. There we go. And we will put down a couple more at either end. And you're off. Good. You will wait for the clay train, and then you will depart as well. Has the grain train come down here while I've been yakking? Yes, he has. Good. So we'll just hit the fast forward button and see how he goes. Well, I've just noticed that that Gardner oil refinery has announced imminent closure, despite the fact there's a subsidy on offer for it. So that was well played. But here we go. We've got our grain train coming into the brewery now. Hopefully, there goes another one. Bye-bye, Nancy factory. Nancy pansy. Yes, we'll just get a nice payoff here, hopefully. Yeah, unload faster. Don't have all day. There you go, $4,000. Okay, well that's going to be a profitable route. So much so that I'll probably just double track this section here. We'll let him run for a little bit and make us a bit more money. And we'll extend the double track there and see how we go. Well, while we're waiting for this bloke to make some more cash, I'll make another change I was thinking about. When I cracked the game open and feasted on the goo inside, I noticed that our Jinbury City to Parramatta train is making a loss. Now that's likely because he is, as I spoke about last time, he is copping it because the other train's been paid for passengers to come from Seesaw to Jinbury City. And then instead of making a profit from here to here, it's having to deduct money because the quickest route as the crow flies would be like this. So it has overpaid because it has paid a profit for transporting this distance when really it's shorter to go direct. So we've got two options there. We can either have a direct line come down here, but then we'll still be losing money from these towns trying to get around to Parramatta City. Or we can just try and balance things out a bit by stopping people having to change at Jinbury City, and therefore this train not having to shoulder all of the load there. So what I'm thinking is we just make it one long route from Seesaw around to Parramatta City, and eventually we can link that up as a circle line just running whoopity whoopity whoop round and round and round. So to do that we need to make sure we path the trains correctly, because we could quite easily set the route up. But the pathfinding when going this way will look for a path to the first platform at Jinbury Grand Central, which will be this one, and it'll turn around and leave, but it'll be trying to get down to Farnwell. So we'll just end up with a bunch of lost trains. Look, probably won't be too bad. They'd probably just go into the depot to turn around and go back. Teague Grove Farm has decreased livestock production. Fair enough. Doesn't bother me. No, we're not using that coal mine. I thought, well, we've lost another one. But no, that I don't think that was ever going to be a candidate for us to use. So what we'll need to do up here in Jinbury Grand Central is we will need to build what's called a waypoint. So we've got a few options here. These come with the station set we've got going here. So we'll build this rather spiffy looking number and we'll throw it down there. And we won't call it Jinbury City Waypoint, we'll call it Jinbury City Through. Now, what we'll do is we will click on this fella here. We will extend his orders from Jinbury City Grand Central down to Parramatta City. Okay, we're going to cover that in a minute. You are then going to come back to Jinbury City Through. Yes, you're losing money, well done. So are you. And after Jinbury City Through, you will then go to Jinbury City. There we go. We got distracted by the loss-making messages, and then he will resume business as usual. So as you can see, this chap here, even though he could turn around these platforms, he's defaulted for those ones. Now, we will also redirect this train onto this route here, and we'll just correct you to go to Parramatta City, please. So now we have 3 trains running on the route. Seesaw to Parramatta City and back again via Jinbury City. So it's a good thing we redirected that coal mine and didn't sell everything else, because we now have a convenient iron ore mine right alongside the main line. Well, thank God we didn't get around to scrapping this steel railway all the way up here, because that would have been that would have been a bit of a waste of money. So all we need to do is borrow a little bit to build a nice little loading point on the main line here at Nindingstone Iron Ore Mine, and we can try and start again. We will have to rebuild this bit of track too. Did I end up demolishing that tunnel? Oh, thank God we kept the tunnel. So what's our maximum loan? 600 grand. Okay, so that doesn't give us a lot of money to play with. We'll have to be prudent in the spending. I can't remember what the original alignment was, so we're just going to sort of throw some track down and hope for the best. Yeah, see, this is why I sometimes like to leave track in place. Look, yes, you're paying for it with the infrastructure cost, but often if you decide to restart a route or repurpose a route, you can quite easily just build the trains or just send them out of storage. I don't think we're actually going to make it. We might have to save up a bit of money here. I think it's going to be pretty tight. So we'll have the railway line come down. Nope. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be close. I'm hoping we can afford a station down here. Let's put a couple of buffer stops in there. Boom. Okay, 7 grand left. Can we build a nice little steel mill station again? 2x5. We can, but that's basically depleted our entire cash reserve. Yeah, we still haven't built. Let's just, those signals are facing the right way. We still haven't built a station for the coal train or the iron ore train. Well, this is going well. But, you know, the potential is there if we can just scrape together enough cash. Speaking of cash, hello. We certainly won't be sending you back on coal duties. Come on, cha-ching! Well, that's 4 grand in the bank. So if this chap keeps running back and forth quite happily, he will making us about 5 grand a year. It's hardly going to pay the loan down on its own, but yeah, it's something. And how are you doing? You've lost $500 this year. That's okay. The year is young. It's only March, and you made 5 grand last year, so you're on a good thing. And if the passenger trains just don't lose money. What did I just said? Don't lose money, and they're losing money. We might have to sell one of those. I think number 3. Where are you? Oh, good. You're going to go to the depot, and we will just chop you up for parts, because as much as I like storing trains, we need a better profit-making adventure to start. Adventure? Really? We're going with it. It's been said. Not cutting it out, unless you don't hear it, in which case it's been cut out. No, I'm not going to cut it out. And we will just. It pains me to do it. We're going to scrap that passenger train. Oh, 5 grand. Oh, lucky us. I don't think that's going to cover the cost of the station, to be honest. So again, we'll have to be prudent here. We'll pop down a buffer stop. Just one track. We don't want too much. And we will pop down a mineral station here. We are still going to need enough money to buy a new mineral train for coal haulage. Pop a couple of signals in there. I don't think we can afford a passing loop. Why did we build through that field? It's bloody amateur hour here. I'm going to build the passing loop around the rest of the field because, well, I'm not a madman. I'll just put a couple of one-way signals in like that. There we go. Do it on the cheap. We don't need that signal there, though. We can't even scrape together £9 to get rid of the signal I put down by mistake because I have 2 signals up here. No, you know what, I guess we're going to leave it there. I just don't like having multiple trains queued up in one direction, because if there's no paths for them to get down here, you end up with a massive backlog. We'll just have to remember that's there if we build more trains. So for example, if we had one train here waiting to head north, and one train in the loop waiting to head north, and then a train came and sat at this signal, we would be permanently stuck. We'd have to manually intervene. And of course you can't just simply turn this train around because there might be one sitting at one of these signals too. Right, so we are still losing money. This is definitely a trying enterprise. How are we going, Mr. Grain Train? Are you coming back yet? You're still trying to load. Are our passenger trains cashing in? Yes, but not enough. I'm just going to fast forward and hope that we can dig ourselves out of this hole. Well, given I just got a news message about being sold off or declared bankrupt if we don't improve soon, I don't think this is going to happen, which is really disappointing because... Are you kidding me? You've just put a power station in there. Okay, that's it. We're going for broke here. We are going to have to rejig once again. We're giving up on steel. It's not happening. It's just going to punish us. It's just going to keep hurting us like an abusive relationship. We are going to demolish all of this here. We'll keep the station. We'll keep the tunnel because I plan on reusing that tunnel. We're going to get rid of this track here, boo, 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 and demolish it back to about here. That gives us a bit of money to play with. We are then going to swing this line around here in a, well, yeah, let's just burn money by building a stupid thing up there. We will jig this up round to the existing tunnel because that coal mine's still perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with that coal mine. We will run the line down here. No, we won't. We've run out of money again. Come on. Why did I bulldoze that line? I'm just going to rebuild it. This is going so well. Okay, we're out of money again. What else can we flog off? We need to sell more stuff. We need to make this work. I'm going to have to rip up our... Oh, actually, we can rip up this iron ore mine line. That'll get us a bit of coin. Yes, bye-bye. Bye-bye. There we go. And we can rip up the rest of the steel line. That'll get us a bit more coin. Demolish, demolish, demolish. I mean, it's not much, but if it's enough to build us a bloody coal unloader, we'll be sitting pretty. That costs money because we demolished a station. Whoopsie. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I've ripped up all the track I can, and that's barely going to get us enough for the station. We might have to resort to selling off wagons in a minute. So I'm just going to throw that on the main line, connect that up. Okay, I think we can do this. Let's just get rid of these. I can't afford to remove the signal. That's how well this is going. Now, where is our last remaining freight train that we haven't flogged off? We need to get rid of a couple of wagons from you to make you 3 tiles long. Thank you. Or 3.1. No, 2.9, please. You are our saviour. You are going to be what saves this network. Full load at the coal mine. Take it to the power station and unload. And just for argument's sake, you belong to Parramatta City Depot. Go. Go. Save us, please. You beautiful bastard. Come on. Come on. Chuff faster. We've got spare wagons sitting up there. Remember, we have those in case we need to expand operations somewhere. We're not expanding anything. It's all going wrong. Because, I mean, look, if we had more money available, I would be running a line from here down to the steel mill, and then any coal left over we would drop off at the power station, because then we wouldn't have that problem where the coal train's running full back and forth because the steel mill has stopped accepting coal. So we'll keep that in our back pocket because, well, we'll probably need it eventually. This bloke's apparently got 120,000 tonnes of coal that he's found underground. Our loan has been extended. God, I really want to borrow money, but no. We'll just grit it out. Now, for the benefit of you at home, I'm going to cut forward to the future, but I will have to sit here and endure every difficult year of bread and water rations because, yeah, it's make or break for our company at the moment, folks. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. I had to extend our loan to keep our head above water, by the way, so we didn't get declared bankrupt. We have the coal train making his first delivery to Dunberg Bay Power Station. Oh, and apparently we have got a subsidy out of that. I wasn't even paying attention. So look at that. It'll pay triple rates for the next year. So make as many coal deliveries as you can, little fella. You will be what saves this company single-handedly. No pressure. Well, having had time march forward for about 12 months or so, I've paid the loan down by about 30 grand, thanks to our new friend here. He made 24 grand last year and 20 grand this year, so he is quite obviously propping up a few other loss-making trains. Looking at you, passenger trains. So I'm assuming the passenger trains are making a loss because of this leg here, Parramatta City to Jinbury City, which is disappointing, but it is something we're going to have to absorb because in the long term passengers will be where the money is at. Now I vaguely considered extending our line back down for the steel again because, oh, you're kidding, there's now a factory in Jinbury City. Oh, that is now a very viable option, but I don't think we have the loan available. Yeah, we can get up to 650. That's not going to be enough. Something else I noticed is up in Farnwell we have a food processing plant that accepts livestock and grain and turns it into goods. I don't know why these towns are accepting food then if there's no actual food cargo in the game. That makes sense. Food traditionally was only in the Arctic and the Arctic and the desert climates, I should say, and it was an essential component to making towns grow. I don't know why it's in temperate. That must be one of the house mods I've got installed. So we'll just what's going on? Oh, good, grain production's going down. Yippee! And it's still doing better than livestock. But that being said, I still think it's a viable proposition to transport livestock up here to Farnwell Food Processing Plant, because it should be a reasonable return on investment, especially if we sort of double track this section here like we were planning. So I'm going to move the trees off to one side, and we'll just swap some signals around. We'll bosh a bit of track in there and do a bit of magic here, and we'll run that up there. I know I like to make everything look pretty. We will just we'll adjust the landscape. It's happening. It's done, and connect that up like that. Now what do we need to do? We need to get rid of this track here. We definitely need to get rid of that signal there. We need to get rid of this crossover here. We need to put down a couple of one-way signals here. Get rid of you. We'll change you into an auto. I'm glad that's not the brewery we're currently supplying, because it's already gone. Now, where were we? We were putting down a few signals. We'll drag some in here. And we'll drag some in here. Put another one in there, I guess. What else have we got? We've got signals that need to be placed down here. We'll swap you out for an auto. Drop another one down like that, and drop a couple in there. Right, that's double tracked that section, so that should be more viable for multiple trains. We'll may as well double track up to Farnwell into our siding as well, because, well, we're probably going to need the capacity. We'll smash down a bit of land there, and we'll connect that up like that. Should probably build the siding before we demolish too many more trees. We'll just build a plain siding for now, just to keep it simple. We'll pop it in like that, and then a 3. No, we're out of money. Well, I can fix that. Borrow, because what could possibly go wrong? Certainly nothing like the trials and tribulations with that stupid steel line, he said, jinxing it. We can't double track this section here because of the water, and I don't want to knock over this croft or whatever the hell it's called. Stupid name. It's a house. Just call it a house. House. We will connect this up like that. Now that's a one-way track through the station, so we'll keep this set of points in here for the brickworks there, and we'll just get rid of these unnecessary crossovers up here. We will get rid of that signal there, I probably could have turned that into an auto. Well, that was money we didn't need to spend. Go. There we go. And we'll pop down another couple of signals down there. Yep, sorry about that. I know you're complaining. You're thrown out of whack by my crazy signal placement. That is all good and well there. All we need is a train. We have a depot up here. Actually, we have a depot down here we can use. And we should probably also expand the terminal down here to accept multiple trains. So we'll borrow a little bit of coin there. We may as well try and make it a bit pretty as well. Put in a little agricultural shed there. Isn't that nice? And we will have to demolish a little bit of field to put in a second platform here. So we need general use. We'll put in another buffer stop, and we'll chuck in another little bit of track here, and we'll put that in. Just connect it up like that. I'll drop in a couple of signals. Yes, the passenger train's losing money. We've made our peace with that, I think. I'll extend our fence along just so it looks nice. Here we go. Now we've got a nice little shed there to load shed things. What does one load from a shed at an agricultural station? I guess you put the grain in the shed before you put it in the wagons. I don't know. I'm not a grain handling expert. That's not my area of expertise. We will need to... Where's that depot gone? It was down here in Seesaw, wasn't it? Well, I guess we just wait and save up a bit of coin so that we can... bugger it, let's just borrow it. What's the worst thing that could happen? That we can't afford the train we want to buy. Right, well, I will just let time soldier on until we have a bit more cash and we can actually buy the train that we want. Well, I've been fast forwarding for a number of years. We're now up to 1895 and we just cannot seem to get out of the red. So look, okay, we just did then. Look, I think it's time to admit defeat here. I think we've been crippled by that awful decision to build that very long steel line, that teasing iron ore mine that we couldn't make use of, and now we've got industries galore up and down our railway line. Look, I'm just gonna pull up stumps here. I'm afraid we're going to admit defeat, but don't be disheartened. I think we've learned a few valuable lessons here, which is don't trust industries. They're out to get you. So yeah, I think we're going to keep this one going, just not in this particular universe. So next time we are going to start a new game. We are not going to repeat the mistakes of our predecessor company, because TNIC Logistics is dead. It is worth £1. Fair enough. It's all over for TNIC Logistics and its ill-made decisions. But yeah, we're gonna try again. We will just declare bankruptcy, walk away with our head held high, and start a new company in our wife's name, or something stupid like that, because we will somehow find a way to build the biggest transport empire this world has ever seen. But until then, we're just gonna retreat and lick our wounds. But I do hope you tune in next time for another episode of OpenTTD. I've been TNIC. This has been OpenTTD with the UK Rail Set, and I look forward to seeing you all back here again next time. Thanks for watching. Later days.